Hello Bulldogs, this is Google SketchUp tutorial number 2. It's going to be a very quick one. We're going to talk just a little bit about tools, okay? Today I'm going to give you a JPEG image that will show you the bird's eye view of the school, which is what you're trying to replicate. And I'd like to show you how to use a few tools. The first, I'm going to go down this toolbar very quick. Let's say you wanted to move your object over. This is our front foyer. I'm going to draw a box around this to highlight it. I'm going to use the throwing star looking tool. It's called the move tool. And when I put my mouse on the front of this, I can move it to the right. You'll see a dotted line appear behind it. That tells you you're on the red axis. Okay? So that's the move tool. Another tool is known as the scale tool. The scale tool is used to enlarge objects. So for example, maybe you put the text on the front of your building, but wanted it a little bit bigger. If you scroll in, on any object, if you click on it and then select the scale tool, it'll put the grab bars around it as you see here, drag on one corner of those just like in Photoshop, and it will enlarge that or shrink it if you need it bigger or smaller. That is the scale tool. Another tool that we're going to talk about is called the rotate tool. Okay, to use the rotate tool, again, you scroll out, you select the object. I'm going to select my entire building. Once it's selected, you click on the tool that looks like two arrows, almost like the recycle tool. It's called rotate. This tool is a little challenging. If you want it to simply spin, you lay this protractor looking object flat on the ground. You click once to set it, and then you click once again, and it will allow you to rotate that object. Okay, you can rotate in almost any degree that you want. Let's say, for example, we didn't want to rotate it that way. We wanted to rotate it up on its side. I'm not sure why you'd want to do this, but you click once to set it, click again, and now I can spin it around. Okay, that's called the rotate tool. I'm going to Control Z, which means undo, to put it back where I had it. Click the arrow tool, and that was the rotate tool. Another tool for making roads is the line tool. It's the pencil tool, looks like a pencil. To make a fence, for example, we would come over here and we would, right on the side of my building here, I'm going to draw a line straight up in the air, about 6 feet or so. Then I'm just going to draw another line. Notice that I'm on the green axis. That way I know it's flat on the ground. I'm going to draw it up again until it snaps to the other side. And then I'm just going to connect the dots. And I have what looks like a fence. Now it doesn't look like a fence, it looks like a wall. So to make it a fence, you click on the paint bucket, you choose fencing, and whatever kind of fence you want to do, I'm going to do chain link to start with. I got a chain link fence. Okay, if we wanted to use the picket fence, we could click on it. The only problem is you'll notice that my fence is has two different panes. We don't want that. So what you could do is you could click on the fence with your arrow tool, and then you could click on the scale tool, and then simply drag the top of the fence down to one so it's not tabulating like that on top of each other. Okay, so another tool is called the arc tool. The final tool is called the arc tool. To do the arc tool, let's say we were going to make some roads. And the way you make roads is the same way you made a building. You click on the rectangle tool. Let's make a walkway in front of this building. I'm going to make it about 8 feet wide by about 40 feet long. So I just highlight my object here. And I'm going to go ahead and make that dimension 8 feet, comma, remember, space by 40. Hit enter. Oops, put it the wrong way. Let's try that again. I'm going to draw my object. You draw the length first. So let's go 40 feet by 8 feet. There we go. Okay, if I wanted to join another one, I want to show you how this arc tool works. This would also be, it's going to be 8 feet by, let's do about 5 feet. So now I'm going to go 8 feet. Comma, let's do 10 feet by 10 feet. Okay, now let's say we wanted to join these two. We could do that doing the arc tool. I'm going to click on the arc. I'm going to join these two. This is the arc tool. Looks like an arc. I connect the dots, dot, dot, and then I can kind of pull this out so that I have kind of a curved path. Okay, so that was several tools there at once. We did the move tool. Remember, that's the throwing star. Scale tool. We did the rotate tool. We did the arc tool. We did the line tool to make fences. And now you know how to make walkways and roads. If you wanted to color your, finally, to color your walkways and roads, you click the paint bucket. You choose whatever material you want. Let's do, if you scroll up here, there's one that's called asphalt and concrete. I'm just going to click on this. Let's do like a little cobblestone concrete walkway. Okay, and if at one point you want to get rid of these lines because they bother you, you can just click on them and hit the delete key. And I have myself a pretty cool little walkway there with a fence. Okay, if you look at the requirements today, it will tell you what you need to build. Okay, but here you got the skills to do it now. Mr. Wickwar signing off. Have a good time.